Hey everyone, Marathon Hurdler here, back with some more Final Fantasy. I'm the Hellfire Chasm, and today we're going to be exploring the second half. So let's just walk up to the teleporter there, which you can access after defeating one of the two bosses, and then head down the stairs. So now we are on the 6th floor of the Hellfire Chasm, which again is another lava floor, surprise surprise. And let's see, there should be a treasure, yep, to the west there. That's the first treasure that we can pick up here. Now I believe there's one almost directly east from us, but on the literally on the opposite side of the dungeon. I think there's one that might be a little bit closer here, but unfortunately we're gonna have to kind of walk away from where the exit is in order to be able to pick up all these treasures, but what can you do? Alright, so there's a second one that we can pick up. I think there is a third one, which is, like I said, directly to the east of the first one that we hit. So let's see. Yeah, so there could be a treasure right there. As you can see, there is not one. So, well, what can you do? Now, if you want to leave, you have to head south from here. And actually, I actually did this not in a very smart fashion, because the right way to do this would have been to go south first and then check on that treasure, because that's the way the exit was going to be. But, you know, what can you do? And of course, there's no treasure there anyway, so yeah, my health is fine. But oh well. All right, so let's head north here, head back to where that third treasure could have been, but was not, and then we'll actually make our way to the exit from here. And as with most damaged floors, you can't run into encounters here, so that's kind of why the encounter rate's been pretty low. Which is different than that first floor we were on, the Scalding Bats floor is what I believe it's called. Where even if you are even on the regular floor, you can actually take damage. Now all this damage is going to add up at some point, so I'll probably go ahead and heal. And don't be fooled by the music or the background. We are not actually on the world floor, or not the world floor, the world map. This is just another potential map here. This is as you can see at the top there, it says Hellfire Chasm Floor 7. So, now what's interesting about this floor, and I'll say this as I'm kind of getting my bearings here, is that I believe this is considered to be just one floor, but what's unique about it is that there are multiple variants of this floor that you can run into. Now, let's see. Is this the right one? No, something seems off about. Wait, is this right? I think this is actually the right floor, or the right map that I have up now. Yeah, it's the right map that I've got up now. Alright, so I think what I want to do is head... let me think about this. So, yeah, I don't think it really matters which way I go there first. But, yeah, so there are 3 variations, I believe, of this world floor map, and, but I think you only get one each time you come in here. But I think they might all have the same number of treasures. So, there are 3 different, floor map, but they all have this, but I think they all play out the same way. You have to, the objective is the same. So anyway, there's one treasure that we can pick up right there. Now, what we need to do ultimately on this floor is there's a specific location on this map called Thule, and what we need to do is we need to head to that location and then talk to a guy there, and then from there we have to do another smaller objective. So this floor can be kind of a pain because it does take a little while, and this is actually why I was hesitant to do all the floors in one go, because I figured this floor was going to show up and it was going to take a while to get my bearings, and then I just didn't want to have to record for an hour because of basically this one floor. And I'm going to want to go ahead and use... Wait, actually, you know what? I could actually just use... I think I could just use an item that casts a spell and be able to kill all these guys. Let's see. Because they're all pretty weak. I mean, they're doing 1 damage to us. And that actually might be a smarter way of handling this moving forward. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So let's just do that. Let's go into my item menu here. And what can I replace that with? Let's replace it with the potions. I don't really need potions that much. Where are you? Mage's Staff. There we go. And actually, let's move the gauntlets up there too while I'm at it. Just so I have multiple items I can cast spells near the top of my menu here. We'll replace that with the Dry Ether, because we won't really need that either. And I did not mean to use either in 2 lines like that. But anyway, there's a second treasure location. There's a ship that we need to the west, but there's one more treasure location that I want to check out before we do that. I think that's the last treasure location in this area that I'm at. So let's go ahead and have her use the gauntlets, and then you use the Mage's Staff, and I'll look at my map here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So there is one more treasure location, but it's pretty far away. And I think I need the ship, or there's 2 more treasure locations beyond the one that I'm heading to now. But I think I need the ship to get... Well, I don't technically need the ship to get to the 3rd one, but I might as well have it, I think. Yeah, I think that makes more sense to get the ship first there before I try to pick up that treasure. And unfortunately... Wait, you know what? What am I doing? I think I can... I'm so used to being on the world map and not being able to run that I just don't even think about doing it. But if I'm showing off all the random battles, I should be running. I mean, the only reason I didn't show off the random battles before was because even though I ultimately learned that you don't run into... You're not like more likely to run into an encounter if you run. It's just that you run into an encounter faster because you're taking more steps, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the only reason I tried to walk before was to give myself more time in terms of seconds so that my thoughts wouldn't be interrupted as much. But if I'm showing off the random battles right now, just run and try to get through this a little bit quicker. Because as you can see, we're going to run into random battles anyway, so let's try to speed up this process a bit. Alright, so now what I want to do is head to the west, and then I'll get on the ship there. Now these random encounters are becoming a little bit annoying, but that's okay, because this is again by far the longest floor that we're going to have to deal with this entire dungeon. So once we get past this, everything else should run pretty smoothly like it did in the last episode. This dungeon is definitely shorter though in terms of like the floor length on average than I think the previous dungeon was, the Earthgift Shrine. Alright, so I guess I can't complain too much. Although we didn't have to deal with as many enemies in the previous dungeon either, so I guess it's kind of a trade-off. Well, not as many enemies is probably the wrong way to put it, but the enemies per encounter, it seemed like were lower, so I didn't have to use as many magics or as many spells as I have to, as it feels like I have to right now, so... Alright. So the ship that I'm looking for, if I got the right map, should be right there, and we can see the sails, so... Yeah, we're in good shape there. So we have these yellow ogres. Hopefully we can take them out with just a couple spells. Like I said, at some point I'm going to probably start cutting out the random encounters again, especially when it gets to a point where it feels like it's, you know, becoming tedious and adding too much time to the playthrough, which will probably be in the next dungeon, because I am anticipating more difficult random encounters there, which I won't be able to eliminate as easily in one turn. So let's see. Let's head south beyond this, and then we'll go east, and then south again around this thing. And there should be a dock that appears pretty soon. Alright. Now, I'm not sure what is causing that random delay in the music, in terms of, like when I first got into the ship, it seemed like the music was delayed there. I don't know what's causing that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the game. I just think it's, I don't know, it seems kind of weird. Then again, the loading times for this game can be a bit long. I've mentioned that before. They are actually longer for Final Fantasy II, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, we need to talk to this guy. Interesting. Is that so? Alright. So anyway, there should be a treasure up there that we can pick up, and as you can see there is. And once again, I'm forgetting to run instead of walk, but that's okay. Now let's use our mage's staff there, and then gauntlets, and we'll be out of here pretty quickly. So, once we're done with this, then we need to... I think we need to get an airship. I think that's what he was implying there. And to do that, we're going to do quite a bit of walking, so that's going to be fun. What we need to do just to get the next treasure. So what I'm probably going to do, actually, I'm going to save myself a little bit of time, or try to anyway, by taking the ship over to where the next location, or where the next treasure should be. And if I don't see it there, then I'm just going to, well, skip that part then. Because there's no need to do extra running for no reason, obviously. So now, obviously, we haven't been getting too much in terms of good treasure yet, but I had to double check. But I think there are some good items you can get here. Yep, and the treasure, of course, is actually there. And really, I shouldn't complain about that, because obviously more treasure is not a bad thing. It just means I have to do quite a bit of running to go get that. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to cut out some of this stuff. I'm not going to make you watch me run all the way down and back. Not just because it would take forever, but also because I don't think I have enough commentary at this point to be able to cover the extra 10 minutes it's going to take me to get the treasure. So just kind of pay attention to where I'm going, and I'm just going to meet you back at the ship once I pick up that treasure. Although I'm sure you can see, I mean, as you can kind of figure out where it's going to be based on the fact that I already showed you where it is. It's just the fact that we have to run pretty far north and then run around and down, so it's just going to take a little time. Which is fine. It's just a little tedious. Which, honestly, a lot of this post-game does feel a bit tedious. Which, I don't know, that's just not what you really want in post-game content, right? I mean, and I feel like, and this is not a dig at Final Fantasy. I guess to call this post-game content isn't completely accurate, but you know what I mean. Content that is, you know, optional, and where the bosses may be more powerful than the final boss, or at least on the same footing as the final boss. So, yeah, it seems like a lot of games can't figure that out, which is kind of weird. But anyway, we got a twist headband, which I think anyone can equip. Doesn't really help him that much. I think it's actually good. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good piece of equipment for Ramza. But obviously you don't get the special attack prevention. But I'm actually going to go ahead and equip this because the extra attack power will be nice for the time being. And I might change my mind later, but for now I'm going to use that because not many enemies are going to be using status effects on us anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to meet you back at the ship there. Okay, I'm back. So what we want to do now is head in the ship, and then we're going to be heading pretty much to the northern tip of this map, and then we'll be heading to our next destination from there. And I think the palm tree, so we needed to talk to that palm tree is what we need to do. But unfortunately there are no convenient docks nearby, so we're going to have to do quite a bit of walking to get there, which is always exciting. Which, yeah, as I was saying before, that's where the kind of the tedium of all of this comes into play, unfortunately. Yeah, there's really not much else to say about that. I mean, oh, what I was saying is that, you know, it's weird. I feel like a lot of games have this post-game content that really doesn't add much to the story, and I don't really understand why. I mean, like, I just don't get... I mean, I guess it's just there to kind of to give you more hours of gameplay, but it just doesn't seem that appealing to me. I don't know. And I probably should have done that. I could have handled that better. But we killed him anyway. And part of it, I think, is that I'm realizing I'm getting to a point where, like, I'm actually kind of spoiled as a gamer. Or I'm getting to that point where I feel like I'm more spoiled as a gamer. Because you get to you play so many games now where you can kind of control the pace of your own play. So, you know, even games like Final Fantasy 13, which I don't really love, but whatever. But even games like that, you can kind of control the pace of your play by avoiding enemies. In like games like Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, but like Ni no Kuni, Disgaea, a lot of the games that I've played over the last 5 or so years, you basically control exactly when you run into battle and when you don't. And so it can be kind of weird when you come back. Even with Final Fantasy VIII, I had the Encounter None ability, which I basically picked up like as soon as I was able to. And yeah, you can kind of dictate the pace of your play, whereas with Final Fantasy I, you very much cannot. So it's definitely a different dynamic. And I think the other thing is, there are times where it feels like, maybe because the battles don't always feel that difficult either. I mean, yeah, some enemies can hit you hard, and obviously I've had my moments where I've like lost people, or where I've like died or whatever. But for the most part, it's not that dangerous. So, because even like compared to a game like Final Fantasy X-2, which even though I hate the story, I actually kind of like the gameplay. The random battles don't always feel as bad because, you know, they're pretty fast paced. Although even then, I guess, now that I think about it, I do remember there were some spots where I kind of got annoyed with all the random battles. So maybe I'm just tired of random battles a little bit. And it's not even that I'm... But no, I do think there is something to... There's something different. Because even with Final Fantasy X-2 or a game like Dragon Quest VIII, which is another game that's pretty high on my consideration list for a future playthrough, with games like that, you feel like there's a little bit more diversity in what you're doing. Even though with Dragon Quest, you know, obviously the battles can get a bit tedious at times, but you feel like you're kind of forced, and I went the wrong way because of course, but you do feel like there's a little bit more strategy there, whereas at this point in this game, you know, you're basically just doing melee attacks most of the time. And even if I wasn't overpowered, in most dungeons, you're basically just doing the same thing over and over again. And it's that combined with the high encounter rate. That's kind of an issue. And maybe, I don't know, just the whole experience, I guess, is kind of the thing. That's something that I'm realizing more and more is important to me. Because I feel like I keep saying, like, oh, you know, this, I don't know, that this game is a little bit tedious, but I feel like maybe it's just the atmosphere doesn't encourage me to want to explore as much as maybe other games. Because like games like Final Fantasy 12 or 10 even, you know, where you maybe are fighting a lot of enemies, you feel like there's more of an atmosphere there that you're kind of exploring, whereas there's not a whole lot of incentive to keep going with this post game, which is, I think, kind of the unfortunate part. And I'm wondering if I should have gotten this airship first, as opposed to flying around with running around with the water ship there. Because certainly it's going to be much easier to get around with the actual airship. But whatever. And honestly, I'm complaining about how tedious some of these dungeons are, but honestly, that took us like what, 15 minutes. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, and compared to some other games, you can certainly have way more annoyance. But anyway, let's go get our airship and then move on. Yeah, our music is definitely delayed a bit. But anyway, we want to head into this little cavern and then route. Alright, now, I don't think we're going to see another world map. I think that's basically the end of that. So now we need to, well, walk around here a bit. Nope, that won't work for you, sorry. Now, see that floor there? See how that floor is like glittering right there? If you walk onto that, then you will be you'll be forced to fight a random encounter. So we don't want to deal with that. So basically what we have to do is I messed that up. I gotta pay attention here. But basically what you gotta do is you gotta make sure these guys are basically gonna walk in a fixed path, and they're just gonna be in your way basically. So you wanna I screwed that up. So you wanna make sure that you are, there we go, that you can avoid that. Now again, you see how the floor is glittering there? That's a floor that has fixed encounters. So if you want to avoid those, you have to find a way to walk around them, which is what I'm doing here. Although it will take a little bit more time that way, but I do want to show you that it is possible to avoid most of the random encounters here while picking up all the treasures that you could possibly get as well. And let's see, where is the next treasure? There's another one a little bit to the to our right, to the east of us. Now let this old man go by, and then we'll run. How I did not... I thought I got there in time. I'm just going to hold down on the running pad. There we go. No! Okay. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There, no! Okay. We got it this time. We got it this time. Nope, don't have it. We didn't get it. We definitely did not have it there. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, you really have to let go of that with like crackerjack timing because, yeah, as you saw, that's just... Anyway, so we'll follow her up. There's another shiny floor there, so we're going to basically hang out behind this guy. You know, I'm kind of wondering if it would actually just be faster to fight the random encounters at this point, but I want to show this off because it is kind of a puzzle, so... Alright, we get 250 go from that guy, or from that treasure. And then we need to kind of wait here for him to go by. And then we'll head up behind him. There we go. And then... Alright, now this one I have to be careful about because I don't want to run into that floor there. Yep, and of course I did it. Again, not like these enemies are hard, but it's just... I wanted to be able to show off that you can do it without running into a forced encounter. Which, I don't think my doing that I guess, me running into that battle didn't really disprove that, I suppose. So, it was just kind of, for me, a personal challenge. I wanted to see if I could do it. But, alas, it was not meant to be today. Which is okay. There we go. And then, next floor that we want to... Nope, and I... wasn't paying attention there. Gotta pay attention, Marathon Hurler. Gotta pay attention. So, you could avoid that floor. I'm going to show you how to avoid that floor. So, just ignore my lack of skill there. So, once we get out of this. So, you can see the floor is glittering there. And, so what you do is you walk behind this guy. Kind of to walk with this guy, apparently. There we go. And there are no more items, or no more forced encounter floors. Come on. There. So we get a blue curtain from that treasure chest. So now we're just gonna... No, I can't follow that guy. I have to just... shoot. There we go. Head south from here. Now there's like a little... Let's see. In order to avoid the next random encounter, or forced encounter floor, you have to walk around... here, which I think is possible, and then we're gonna have to trail this, or do we have to? Can I get behind it? Yes. All right. Now this floor has all sorts of forced encounters on it, so the key is to follow behind this guy right here. So, and then when he goes over to the treasure, shoot, I have to let him go through now. It's okay. We'll get in behind him. Just going to hold the running button. Come on, there we go. And we get a power plus. So that's how we boost our attack. I don't think that other tonic does anything except boost your stats in like a single random battle. So we're just going to trail this guy all the way to the top. There we go. Now there is one more floor, and I don't think I can actually avoid this one, unfortunately. So I don't think so anyway. Because I'm looking at this, and unless there's a way across there... Nope. I don't think we can avoid that one. That's okay. Because we're basically done anyway. And so there's only one more forced encounter floor on this map. And you can... I'm pretty sure you can avoid it. Although, it is a little bit of work. So let's head north there. So there is the forced encounter floor to the right. As you can see, there are two people walking. So we need to get behind her, if possible. Got it. Alright. Okay, so then there's one more floor. And the music didn't even change because, well, there's not a whole... I mean, the music's basically the same for both of these. So now, let's see. Our starting spot tends to be random here. I think I know where I'm at. If I'm correct, this... Yep. Alright, so I know where I'm at now. So there's a treasure there. We get a Giant's Tonic. Now, I think there's only one more treasure you can... Oh, wait. Two more treasures you can get, possibly, on this map. But this floor is actually pretty straightforward. I think the random encounters will be back here. And indeed they are. But this floor is actually the most straightforward of all of them, so... and I should have used the gauntlets or something there. But hey, maybe it won't matter. Okay, maybe whoa, okay. It definitely won't matter then. Because, well, we're going to kill them all in a couple of turns anyway. And you really have to be able to come through this place. Well, it's so weird because the bosses are at such a different power level than the random enemies here. It's bizarre. Anyway. Let's see. Treasure right there. And then there's one more that we could possibly get a little bit further south. But that's on our way out as well. So, no side paths that we have to deal with. Kind of cowards, aren't they? They just can't get out of here fast enough, it seems like. Alright, so... easy enough. Now let's pick up this treasure here, and either. Nothing that great. Now there could be one more there, and there is. And this time we get the preemptive strike, so now we're going to actually need to use the gauntlets. Ironically enough, we need to use these and a preemptive strike because otherwise, because no one's going to run away. It's actually easier to deal with them when we don't have a preemptive strike, I suppose. But anyway, picked up the last treasure here, an emergency exit, which doesn't really do much for us now, but okay. Because I'm pretty sure you can't actually leave this dungeon once you're in. You can't use teleport or anything like that. Maybe you can use an emergency exit. I don't know. I'll look into that, because if I can, then that does change what I will be able to do in terms of, like, the Lifespring Grotto. I could actually show off part of that without any problem. But anyway, we are on the 10th floor of the Hellfire Chasm. So, let's see, let's get to the point where this branches off a bit. Gonna save my game, because again, there are two bosses that we can fight here, so... want to make sure I show that off. And again, I've only done this once before, so forgive me if this is... I don't remember exactly where everything is, because... well, there's no good map of, like, the boss floors on mine, which I suppose I understand that a bit, because why would you need that? Let's see. So let's actually sort this. Let's move the Mage's Staff. And I'm actually going to put the... where is it? Where are you? What am I looking for? I'm looking for the giant gloves. There we go. Is there anything else I need? Nope, I think we're good. I mean, the white robe probably wouldn't be bad. But I can just have Penelo cast that. I'm not really worried about that. And I did save my game. Let's double check that. Yep. Sorry, gotta be a little paranoid. I didn't want to have to do this all over again. Alright. So I am doing this in the order I wanted to. Perfect. With Barbarisha next. Alright, but she won't be much tougher than anyone else that we fought to this point, so let's do what we normally do. Set up the defenses, set up the offense, and then go to town. We'll get the test. Oh wow, that was hit me pretty hard there. But then again, that's nothing new. These powerful melee attacks, not really surprising. But now that we have Proterra up, we should be in decent shape. And yeah, we'll just continue. But I'm going to go ahead and heal up here just to be safe. And then we'll get haste on Zidane. And now we're good. And I think that can petrify you. I'm pretty sure that can petrify you. Obviously, it didn't here, but I'm pretty sure that's what that does. And that little boost in attack seems to have made a little bit of a difference, the twist headband. So that's nice. And let's go ahead and use Visra. And then Temper on Zidane. Yeah. She's not really going after us that hard. I'm pretty sure she had some, like, attacks that can hit all of us, but I guess she's choosing not to use them for some reason. Which, I mean, fine, I guess. Not like I'm going to complain. And then we'll just go ahead and start stacking our tempers at this point. Because I mean, even though I don't think she's going to survive another turn, but in case she does, we'll be able to finish her off pretty quickly anyway. That should finish her off, yeah. Yeah, they don't really have that much in terms of defense. I mean, later bosses, well, they'll have a little bit more, but for some reason the Final Fantasy IV enemies have, like, no defense whatsoever. Now, I don't think the Braveheart is something that is going to be useful for us, yeah. I mean, it does cast Confuse, but whatever. Not really that great. So I'm going to reset, and then we'll take on the final boss here. Okay, I'm back. Now the last room is kind of out of the way here, so it's going to seem like I am running nowhere. Although in that 1 second there, I was kind of running to a dead end. Room from here now. It is a bit out of the way. So, and there's a treasure there, as you can see. Now I think maybe every dungeon has a room like that where you can get like a fancy treasure at the end there. But anyway, let's go ahead and heal up. I don't even know if I need an either. I don't think I need an either. We're going to go without it. And so, not surprisingly, we have Rubicante as our final test here. Assuming it's going to load. There we go. Yeah, the load times, like I said before, they can be a little bit long. Now I'm going to go ahead and use No Blaze, actually, as my first, and I didn't reorganize my items. That's okay, though. Only slightly inconvenience, or only a slight inconvenience there. So then we'll use Temper. Yeah, I think I'm going to use No Blaze in my first turn. Although, I mean, okay. I forgot Pinello is like impossibly slow and never gets her turn off when I want her to. That's okay though. So now we'll get Protera up in the next turn, and then we should be in good shape. So I'm going to have you, of course, use the Giant's Gloves next, and then we'll go from there. Let's get Protera up, and then you start going to work, and you get haste on Zidane. Come on, Pinello, you gotta speed it up a little bit. I can't have you dying on me here. Wait, what happened? Oh, Marathon Hurdler. You can't go an episode without having something silly like that happening. You know, I mean, now this is going to sound like me blaming the game when I clearly made a mistake of my own. But, like, whew, that was close. Wow, that could have been a lot worse. Man, that was almost bad. But, yeah. I wish they wouldn't even let you use an item in battle if it couldn't be used in battle. Like, what is the benefit of that? Anyway. So now that I'm done complaining, let's actually get back to work here. Despite my screw-ups, that's not going to really cost me anything in terms of the long run in this battle. Although he does seem to really like going after Pinello. I don't know why that is the case. Hopefully we'll be able to get our healing off quickly enough in the next turn, because if he goes after her again, she'll go down. Now granted, we don't really get experience for this battle, so it's not like it's going to throw things off, and honestly, things are already screwed up enough in terms of my experience, so it wouldn't really matter, but hopefully he doesn't kill her. Just from a pride perspective, don't want my people dying on me. But that's not going to be a problem because, well, we killed him anyway. So, what do we get? We get a Kikuichi Manji. Let's see. I don't think that's really good for us either. Yeah. I mean, it's better than the Sasuke's blade, but not better than a Mazmune. And then from this treasure chest, we get another ribbon. I think, is that the 4th ribbon that we've gotten access to? I don't know. Anyway. Wait, why wouldn't I want to leave? Yes, I want to leave. Fault me to the no answer there. I don't get that. But anyway, as you can see, we are done with this dungeon. So next time, I will actually be exploring the Whisperwind Cove, not the Lightspring Grotto, because as I mentioned before, the Lightspring Grotto has the two of the 3 toughest super bosses in the game, so I want to avoid that for as long as possible until I am pretty much maxed out in terms of HP. So next time I'm going to be showing that off. I'll probably show off the first 10 floors, because there's a boss every 10 floors in that dungeon as opposed to every 5 floors. And I might take a few days off from recording this game in particular, and I might switch to Arc the Lad, just because I'm not going to have major blocks of time where I can record, and I can do Arc the Lad in nice 30-minute chunks. But until next time, this has been Marathon Hurdler. I want to thank you as always for checking out my videos, and hopefully I will see you next time.